We are here finally. Marta is with me here, an amazing artist, and we're gonna talk about her and her art, her career, and so much more. Hi, Marta.
Hi, how are you?
I'm excellent as usual. How about you?
I'm glad to be here with you guys, so very happy to be here.
I think many people want to hear about your work because it's amazing.
Thank you
And
so much.
I think many of them will want to hear your story, how you started, what you did, and so on. By the way, guys, if some of you don't know who's Marta, you can check her art station that I'm showing on the back of my screen. And I think many of you will be impressed with what kind of style she has because it's very unique and different from everything that I saw, and that's one of the reasons why I invited her.
Thank you so much for your nice words.
Anytime.
I'm gonna pay you later.
50 euros as usual, my price, everybody knows. I will give you a discount for 30, but yeah. So Marta, where do you come from? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you started, and what did you always draw as a child and stuff like that?
Okay. I'm from Barcelona, Spain, and I think I've been drawing since I was 5 years old, something like that. And yeah, now I'm 30, so yeah, I've been drawing almost from a lot of years. And I knew that I wanted to be an artist since I was a kid, and I've been I don't know. I've been working as what else should I say? I've been working as a freelancer for almost 2 years, and I was working with a publisher before that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I think I just prefer, the freedom of just being a freelance artist. And yeah, I don't know. What else should I say? You can keep asking me stuff. I don't like talking about myself.
Okay, perfect. We will start with art questions in the beginning, then we will move to the other questions. Tell me, you said you like to be a freelancer. Why do you like to be a freelancer? I know a lot of people in the industry, they want to be a freelancer like I wanted, and then you will start doing it, and you realize that it's much harder. For some people, it's much harder. For some, it's much easier. Why do you like to be the freelancer?
I mean, I like the freedom, as I said, and also that you're in your place, not like in your home working, so you don't need to be, like you can just wake up and work with your pajamas and stuff like that. And also, I mean, that's the main thing, I guess, that you have a lot of freedom, and you can, if you have a bad day, then you don't need to work. But then if you have a tight deadline and you just want to work extra hours, you can just do it because you're your own boss. So I think that's good. And I don't know what else. The bad thing, I guess, is that you may be a bit worried if you don't get work, and you be like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna have work next month or something like that. But as long as you're just posting a lot of stuff on social media and you try to be active, and then people see your work, and then you get new commissions, so it's not that bad.
What kind of platforms do you use? I know that there is a lot of people following you on, how many on Facebook and on Instagram? I think it's something around 30,000, right? And
yeah.
On Facebook, much more, right?
Yeah, on Facebook I think is 120,000, but Facebook nowadays doesn't work that much, so it's a bit useless.
Facebook is horrible. Yeah, Facebook is horrible. I mean, they literally tricked us to invest years of time in building our audience, and now...
I know.
Oh
I was so depressed years ago when that happened. Because I mean, I remember just being like, oh, I just post this, and then a lot of people is going to share it, and it's going to bring me some work and all that. And then all of a sudden, all the reach of your post just decreased so abruptly. And yeah, it got me so frustrated. I remember I even paid for some of my posts, and I was able to talk to Facebook people, to call them and tell them like, what the fuck are you doing? Like with this platform. And they were like, oh no, that's people, they don't like that. And then that's the reason. And I was like, yeah, of course, that's the reason. It's not because you're doing weird stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the Facebook and the Instagram, for me, I always tell that to people because art is literally going two ways. One of them are like, I don't care about my Facebook and Instagram. Mostly they have 50,000 followers. and there are other artists that care about likes and everything. And I always have a debate with the people talking about that. Is that a good thing or is it a bad? For me, for example, I think it's a wonderful thing because I'm in Serbia, and that gives me a lot of opportunity for people to see me. Do you have also that kind of experience?
I have, like, I mean, I like social media because you get work from that, of course, because without internet you wouldn't get a lot of work. But the bad side of it is if you get obsessed with it, like, oh, I need more likes and I need to post every day, and you make it like something that has to be like that, and then you get stressed because it's like I just want to. In my opinion, at least, is like I don't want to be dependent on it and having to be checking all the time if I'm getting new followers or if I'm getting new likes and all that. So if it wasn't for work, I wouldn't have any social media.
Same here, same here. Yeah, absolutely agree on that. It takes so much energy, and you get so stressed, depressed when you don't get enough likes. I mean, because our job is very specific, we are selling ourselves and our art, and when you don't get enough likes, I sometimes I'm like, what the hell is going on? What did I do wrong and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I would also erase social media immediately. Like I wouldn't like to have it. So yeah.
Yep. So yeah, we agree on that.
Yeah, it's strange.
And
Sorry for
and
that.
sometimes also you're like, oh, I did this piece. I think people may like it, and then people don't. And then the opposite, something that you don't like, and then it gets a lot of likes and shares. So it's a bit, I don't know. I don't like the idea of having to be all the time constantly checking it and seeing if people like my stuff or no. It's like it sometimes make you anxious about, should I paint this or no? Like, because it's like you forgot about what you really like. You just try to paint what you think people will like, and I don't think that's good for artists, at least.
The problem with being a commercial artist is that many people get lost in that, and I have that kind of experience. People want to be superstars, and then they start seeing what other people do, and they start doing that kind of stuff just because it's trendy at the moment. But what I like about your style is that it has been same all these years. I've been following you for 4 or 5 years or something like that.
Thank you.
And yeah, it has been the same. I love the colors. The people can see your screen, and I'm sure that they can see everything. And I'm showing the colors. So what is fascinating about your work are this use of colors. It's very unique. I never seen this kind of use of colors, and it's like a traditional but in a digital way.
Thank you. I think, I mean, you say that my style hasn't changed over the years, but I have the feeling that it has, because I remember some years ago that I reached the point where I had the feeling that I was so lost in so many colors. And I was like, okay, I need to get back in track and try to just think about not putting color everywhere and try to limit it a bit, limiting the palette so that there's some areas that have a bit more color than others, and like with harmony and all that, but just trying not to make everything super oversaturated like I used to do some years ago.
Yeah.
So at least I think that in that regard it has changed a bit. But yeah, I don't know. I just love playing with colors and trying to like, I would never use just gray, I would just put a lot of colors and then more colors on top and then more colors on top, and try to play with transparency and all that, so that there's color everywhere a bit of, yeah.
But they blend very nice, that's what's fascinating. There is so much colors, like a lot. For me too much, because I can't handle that. I can't handle more than 2 colors, to be honest. And when I see them, I'm always impressed by that. How did you study to do that? Was there any specific way that you went, in any route to learn, or was it?
When I was studying fine arts, I had a professor that taught us a bit how to use colors, and also to start by, like painting the whole canvas at the same time, and just instead of using line, and all that. And it made me think a lot of complementary colors and all that. I mean, if you look at my work from I don't know, 10 years ago, I started doing like matte painting and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it wasn't nothing like what I do now. And then I discovered like my love for the color, let's say. I mean, I always loved the work from impressionists like Sorolla and stuff like that. So I loved it, but I never thought of doing it in my work. And then after that professor, I just was so inspired by that, and I was started trying it. And also I started doing it with digital color, which is weird. Like I would try to experiment with a lot of color with digital. I guess also because it's easier because you have the palette in Photoshop that you can choose any color, so it's easier to go super saturated and all that.
Yeah.
And then I also try to apply that into my traditional stuff, so it kind of helped both media, like digital and traditional at the same time.
I see. Did you investigate any old masters, and who did you investigate and research their work?
As I mentioned, Sorolla was a big influence. He was a Spanish artist,
Okay.
and he used to he has a lot of color and also a lot of movement in his paintings. And I mean, I think he was the main inspiration for this style, because I wouldn't say that I look that much at colors in traditional artists, like in masters, let's say, like the old masters. But I love, for example, Sargent. But even if he doesn't use that many colors, let's say, he used to. I mean, I like it for other reasons, like the how do you say that? Like the brush efficiency.
Okay. The brush strokes, how he uses it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what do you like about his brush strokes? What makes it special for you?
I think that you look at his paintings from afar and they look like really realistic and that they have everything, but then you get super close and it's like really abstract, let's say. You
see the move, you see the brush move, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fascinating for me. I'm not a painter by profession, and every time when I see something like that, for me it's like a magic, like literally a magic,
Well, it's for me too. Like I look at that and I'm like fascinated, like, oh my god, I want to do that. So it's the same.
Do you think it comes from your soul or personality or something else? That kind of brush movement. What is your experience with that?
I'm not sure, honestly. I guess it's what you like. Like if I see a super hyper realistic painting, I can see the technique behind it, but I'm not like, oh, I would like to do that. It's just something that it's like a photo or something like that. So I'd rather do something more artistic, let's say, like with more personality.
Personality, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, with the personality, yeah, I agree completely, because I think that for a painter, for designer, I mean, there is always a soul from artist that it goes inside the work, but for painter it's very specific, and you can literally see someone's soul, like Van Gogh. You can see that he had a little bit inner problems with himself on the paintings, like literally it's translated to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess that having your own style can be good sometimes, but also maybe if you want to work for some companies that don't want you to have a style, it can be also a bad thing. So I don't know. But if I think about what I really like to paint and what inspires me and all that, then yeah, I love brushstrokes and colors and all that.
Yeah. Well, by the way, I know that you worked with Blizzard, right? I'm showing now World of Warcraft Battle of Azeroth, Tauren versus Draenei.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, those were some promotional images for the release of the expansion, I think.
They're amazing.
Video.
They're
Thank
amazing.
you.
How did you get in touch to work with them? Because this is not the Blizzard style what you're doing. It's a little bit different. But I'm sure they took you for promotional because you were different. How did you get to that job? What happened? If you can tell us a little bit.
I mean, they contacted me saying that they wanted some commissions for me, so it was like that, like super easy, let's say.
Yeah. When you're talented as Marta, everything is super easy, guys.
No, that's not that. Actually. But I think that they just wanted something different that they don't like, because it's not like the official artwork from the game. It's just something that they use for social media. So when they do that, I think that they just want some artists that have their own style and that they can paint like scenes from World of Warcraft, you know. So I guess, yeah, I guess it's not about in this case, especially because I have a different style, I guess, that they wanted me because of that. So
Yeah, but they took you because it's a very unique style and it's very different than other people. And that's, I always talk about with the people, there is always, as you said, there is that problem. If you're doing different than what companies want, there is a problem, maybe no one will take you because you're so unique. But on the other side, I have experience, if you are unique, but you're on a very high level, they will always take you. There is always a client that wants to work with you.
I would say especially private clients, like if they want a book cover or stuff like that, that it doesn't have to fit in a company, like a style, the style of a company. And yeah, I guess for promotional stuff too, because it's a bit more not that doesn't have to fit into a style also. So. But yeah, I mean, as I said, I work mostly with private clients, not so much with companies. But yeah, at least I have some work with Blizzard, and that was awesome. So
it's a great promotion, right? When you work with Blizzard, it's amazing
yeah,
experience.
I mean, it made me super happy when that happened. So
here, I gave you a like. I gave you like on the World of Warcraft one on our station.
Okay, thank you.
we are watching now. There is a lot of images, so that's why I asked you about Blizzard. So you work mostly with private clients. What do you work on? Portraits or other stuff? What do they contact you for?
It's mainly book covers. And then some people that just want a character that wants to be created or something like that. Like, oh, I've been playing this game or something, and I have my own character. So could you just do a painting of it? And the good thing is that most of my clients are super awesome. Like they give me a lot of freedom.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, I mean they're always like, okay, I want this and this, but not like super picky, and so I can do my own composition and my own colors and all that. So
do they ask you to make them as a character?
No, I don't think that's happened. Never. No.
It never happened.
No, I mean I just made a portrait of a girl that I've done so like 3 paintings for her books. See, I knew that my parents would call me.
Okay, guys, we have a little problem. She needs to answer
Just
to
a
her
second.
parents. Just a
a
second,
second.
she's coming back. She's coming back. We knew this is gonna happen, so relax, guys. She's coming back very fast. As you see, Marta is doing some amazing stuff, guys. In meantime, I will use this break while she's speaking on the phone to tell you, please do sign up or subscribe on the channel.
All right, I'm back.
Perfect. She's back, so I can finish the sentence. I tried to promote myself.
It was just short.
It was a very short call, guys. We are continuing. So you're back now. We have finished with that part.
Okay, I was saying that there's this client that it's a girl and I've done 3 covers for her, and she also wanted like a portrait of her, and so I painted her. But aside from that, it's usually just invented characters and not real people.
Yeah, I'm the only lame character that puts myself as a character in the book, and Spiridon as a character in my book. That's how it goes. I mean, Spiridon is like a character from kind of story, science fiction or something like that. I can imagine him.
Yeah, so many people has painted him, so he has something.
Yeah, what is happening with that? I really don't understand. I think it's because of the beard. I need to grow myself a beard. He looks like Gimli. I tell him that all the time. I hope he's watching now, so he hears me.
I mean, you can always tell him like later, like, yeah, you should check the interview because we talk about you a lot.
Yeah, he's always annoyed when I tell him I mentioned you anywhere where I mention him, because I mention him all the time, and he's always, oh, I hate that, but he likes that I'm mentioning him. I know.
Okay.
So you told me that you are going to one festival this year for sure, and to another one maybe. Can you tell us a little bit about that, where you are going? I know one is in Barcelona and one is in USA.
Yeah. The one in Barcelona is nonstop, and I think it's next week. like next
Oh,
Thursday, I
no,
think.
perfect.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm some sort of a speaker on Saturday. Like I give a small short talk. So yeah, and I'm excited for that. I was there last year too.
What are you gonna talk
So
about?
I don't know yet, but I think I mean yeah, because I haven't prepared anything yet. But I think it's gonna be just a bit of color and all that, and do a short demo also. Because I mean it's not like a long talk like the other speakers, so it's just a short one. So yeah, just a bit of that. And the other one is Lightbox Expo, but I'm not sure about that one yet because it depends on my boyfriend and his schedule too. But yeah, I would love to go to that one because it's a new one and there's a lot of artists going there, and that would be awesome.
Yeah, there's gonna be. You're gonna present or you're gonna talk on the second. I didn't hear you. Sorry. You're gonna be also a guest there or a speaker on the
Oh no,
second.
I just want to go there. I
Ah,
mean,
you just wanna go there. Okay.
attended, yeah. I'm nothing there. Just attending all the talks and learning from awesome artists.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that people can learn a lot from you. So in Barcelona, I have to ask you one more time. I know you don't know, but you're probably gonna show the way you paint and the techniques, or you're gonna talk about your career,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. It's gonna be in that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's just 45 minutes, so it's gonna be short. But yeah, something like that.
Nice. I didn't know that there is a festival in Barcelona. I think that people should know about it. It's the name of the festival is Nonstop, right?
Yeah, non-stop.
Nonstop.
Yeah, I think it's been going on for 4 years, something like that, if I can remember correctly. But yeah, I think that this year they have a lot of awesome people going there, like Justin Gobifield and Christian Chiaya and Daner Warrior. I don't know if his name is pronounced like that. I'm sorry.
People will understand. People will understand.
um, but and last year there was also Jama Jurabaev and Jana Schirmer. So it was
Oh,
it was
great company. That's a great company.
yeah, it was great.
They give some good lessons. I met most of them on the festivals in IFCCs and THU and other places. But enough about me. I wanted to ask you about. Did you always paint as a child? Did you use colors, draw on the walls, or it started later in your life? Because for me, I started doing it around 18 years or something like that. Was it for you earlier or?
I think I painted all my life, and I remember that when I was 5, there was a teacher in school that told my parents that they should enroll me into an art school because I was painting all the time and all that. So yeah, I think I've been painting all my life,
What
honestly.
did your parents say about that? Were they
Um,
were they supportive?
yeah, they were fine with it. I mean, especially when you're just 5, I guess at the beginning they're like, okay, cool, yeah, you can just paint and all that. I mean, later when I told them that I wanted to be an artist, at the beginning they were like, oh no, you should do something different because you're a good student, so why would you paint, Some of that.
Economics are low, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like be a doctor or something like that.
Did you
But
did you want to be anything else beside painting? Have you ever considered it?
I loved animals, so I thought maybe, being a vet would be cool
Oh,
also.
nice, cool, cool.
But yeah, that was just a short period of my life though. but but yeah, it was always that either vet or artist. So
It's a good combination. Both need a soul, right, to do it.
yeah, I mean, my love for animals is still there, So but now I can also be an artist, so it's cool.
Yeah, you have the cat, right? The name of
Yeah,
what is the name of the cat?
Neo.
Neo. He's sitting in your lap and relax.
Not anymore. He left.
He left. He was like,
But
I don't want to listen to this guy talk anymore. I'm gonna leaving.
I mean, he's not listening to you because I have the headphones though. So,
Believe me, it's a cat. The cat hears everything through the walls, through other
yeah,
dimensions.
could be. That's true. But yeah, I'm also like a really nerd person. So I also wanted to be an artist because of video games and movies and all that, like Lord of the Rings and all that stuff. So
So you're a nerd. What kind of games did you play? What inspired you?
um, I mean, I've been playing video games all my life. I remember playing, Age of Empires and Quake and all those games years ago.
Nice.
And
Nice.
and yeah, especially when I wasn't working. I used to play more video games back then than now. Because now, especially when you're a freelancer, you're all the time like, oh, I want to play video games, but then you're like, no, I'm just gonna post something on social media for work, or I'm just gonna keep preparing my, I don't know, my fine art store or something like that. You're always doing stuff, and I feel bad if I'm not working. But yeah, I need to play more video games again, because I have God of War there, and I still need to finish it, and also Fallout, I have it there, and I'm like, damn it, I need to finish this game, but those games are too long to finish.
Yeah, they really take time. But what is fascinating, you played Quake 3, right? It's the old Quake.
Yeah, and Doom also, like Quake and Doom, I remember those two games playing a lot.
That's always fascinating to me because girls didn't play so much in that time. The times have changed. There is more and more female gamers, and it's
I
fascinating
know.
always when I hear that there is a girl playing a
But
Quake.
I was a weirdo back then. I was bullied and all that stuff, because I was a good student and I was a nerd, so it's the perfect combination for being bullied. So
Don't forget that every big person in the world was bullied when they were younger. Like it's quite normal when you are different. I don't know, should I say that I'm sad because I hear that, or that I'm happy because you're now a successful artist. So
it's like, yeah, fuck you, people.
yeah, of course. Look at me, look at me.
I mean, no, I don't think that they may. I don't know. I have no idea if they ever.
They know, believe me, they know. Believe me, they know because. For example, with myself, I haven't been a nerd. I can't say that. I did sports, I did a lot of stuff, but I am a nerd inside because I like all the nerdy stuff. And
Okay.
people always in Serbia, it's very different than. I mean, many artists are nerds, and in Serbia it's very different what I do. They're like shocked what I do, and mostly they put a word on you, who you are. And all my life they've been telling me crazy stuff about what I do. For example, someone asked me a couple of weeks ago what I do, and I told them that I'm doing spaceship designs and stuff like that. And they just looked at me like I was a weirdo, like, look at this guy, he designed a spaceship, let's get out of here. And the girl just left. She just left. so it's the things that people don't understand, they're afraid of them, and it's quite normal for me.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess that at least artists are kind of the same, right? All of us are kind of nerds and into the same kind of stuff, so at least we understand each other. So maybe other people don't understand us, but I don't care. I mean, as long as we are friends, like especially when you go to IFCC or THU or events like that, that you realize that the community is so awesome, and so I don't care if other people don't understand us.
it is like that. When you come, you are like in your pack, literally. On THU, IFCC, doesn't matter you're like, you feel safe. There are more nerds around you.
Exactly. It's a good thing.
Yeah. And what I wanted to ask you, did you do before the line drawings, or how do you approach this kind? Do you want to show some kind of work from you, the process, or you want to keep talking? Because we are having a lot of fun here talking, so maybe we can postpone it in 15 minutes and start showing people work. I think they would love
Sure.
to see.
Yeah,
I will
of course.
share your camera, but this kind of colors, and I'm looking at your work, the pinup girl, Daisy, Agent of Mayhem. And what inspires you, Marta? What you played video games, but what does inspire you nowadays? What shaped your style? Can you remember some specific moments when you saw something that wasn't art related, maybe, and you were like, "Oh my God, I can implement this in my art"?
I mean, of course, it goes back to being a nerd again. It's like movies and all that, right? Lord of the Rings. I grew up like being a super fan of those movies, and of course, I was like, okay, I need to paint fantasy and also like Star Wars and all that. So it's always sci-fi and fantasy, right? And yeah, I mean, nowadays, Game of Thrones, I guess, also.
Of course,
So
which I hate now.
Really? I mean, because of the last season, right?
Yeah. So what inspires you when you see that? Yeah, the last season is horrible. I'm not gonna. I will pretend I'm dead in this conversation until that's like literally, I would throw tomatoes at them if I saw them on the street.
All right.
What inspires you there? The dragons, the composition, the lightning, or just overall shape of everything?
I mean, of course, the design of everything is awesome, and but also if you take all the screen caps and look at them, the compositions are awesome, and also the lighting is really great, and you can learn a lot from them if you study them. So also that. So it's not only the subject, but also the technique, I guess.
Do you print screen like that and then look at it so for inspiration? Do you analyze them?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of websites that have all the shots from movies, right? And you can just take them and study them. Especially, I started doing that a few months ago when I was a teacher in a school here in Barcelona, and I had to teach, right? So I was learning a lot to teach, and then I was looking at all those images and trying to analyze them and think, oh yeah, they put this light here not because it was an accident, but because they wanted to highlight this character. So it's really interesting to take a look at that.
Yeah, it can translate to your paintings, and then you can use it and make something cool out of it. I think that art overlaps. I always like to say that it always overlaps from one field to another.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. Yeah, especially, I mean, let's say that movies are also like an art, right? So it's kind of the same, like you're creating something that doesn't exist. I mean, you can have real actors, but especially nowadays, most of it is, it's created with, it's
CGI.
Yeah, CGI, exactly. Yeah, I was like, what's the word?
Yeah, it's a CGI, computer graphics.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, it's an art.
It's an art for itself.
Yeah, exactly.
And what kind of sites? You mentioned the sites where you see the print screens from the movies and series. What is that site? So our audience can look for it.
I think you just go on Google and write screen caps. I think that's the word that you need to put.
Ah, okay,
and
you
then,
use screen caps. Okay.
Yeah, and then it shows a bunch of websites that have all the screen caps from movies.
Yeah, understood. And you are now lecturing. You're a professor in Barcelona.
I mean, it was just for a month, but yeah, I did in Escola Josa, which is a school that also kind of organized the event of Nonstop. So yeah,
you gave a workshop, or they took you for a month to what happened there?
I did both. Like they have one course of like concept art, so I was doing a workshop there for a few days, and then there was also a teacher that was going to be a parent, so I was just there teaching instead of him for a month.
Okay, very nice.
So,
did you
it was great.
Did you like teaching to students?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the first time that I do it, and yeah, I love it. It has some sort of, I'm not sure exactly how to describe it, but it's that feeling of you trying to help others and, trying to make them understand stuff that maybe they didn't take into account before. So it's really, it makes you happy to say, I can help them, So it's awesome.
It's nice. It's nice to share with community for new people to learn.
Yeah, I love it.
we are similar age. I mean, when we were younger, the material and the resources, how much there wasn't any of them. Now there is so much online that people.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sometimes so jealous of people like you can learn.
I know,
anything.
Right? Yeah, I remember when I was studying fine arts, and I was never taught Photoshop or anything. And I finished fine arts, and I was like, okay, I want to teach. My first thought was like, I want to do those backgrounds like in Lord of the Rings, So I remember just like looking a lot of those videos from Dylan Cole, from Norman Workshop and all that, and Raphael Lacoste and all that. And I was like, yeah, I need to learn this, And yeah, so it was really limited, and now it's like you see people that are like 16 and they're just better than you, and you're like, damn it, what happened?
Yeah,
here?
yeah. What's happening? Where are they getting resources? Like it's crazy. Like everybody's giving. There is on Camroad, there is a Learn Square School and others. It's crazy. Like there is so much to learn now.
I know.
I
I
mean,
know, it's awesome.
they are so lucky. I mean, the competition is much higher now, but you can learn if you are working hard. There is no excuse.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is also that you don't need to go to a super expensive school, right? Because you can just download some tutorials from Gumroad or I don't know, just yeah, some Patreon stuff from artists or whatever. So it's awesome that you don't. Because I remember when I was studying, and my parents were like, "Oh yeah, you need to go to university," and I was like, "Okay." Like I didn't even think that there was another option. But nowadays, like you don't need to if you don't want to.
Yeah, but I think it's a big step not to go to university, to be honest. First of all, you meet a lot of people on the university. That's what I don't like about modern age. I mean, so I'm talking with so many people online, but none of them are real, and like they are not here, when I'm talking. And
Yeah.
that's the thing that I don't like about modern era, even though it brought many other good stuff. But I think when you go to university, you talk with many peers, and you never know where they will go later. So maybe they can help you in the job and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that if you go to a school where they do the stuff that you want to do, yes, but in my case, it was just fine arts and it was just painting abstract stuff and stuff like that. So it's not like you're gonna get a job out of it, honestly.
Was it in
So
Barcelona, right?
yeah,
What's the name? What's the name of university in Barcelona?
I think it's just that University of Barcelona. So pretty easy.
University of
Ob-
Barcelona.
yeah, exactly. It's obvious. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they've changed now, but I remember when I was there and I wanted to do digital art, and they were like, "Oh no, this you can't do that." Or illustration, or comic art. It was like, "Oh no, no, you can't do that."
That's
Just
not real. That's
it,
fake art. Fake art.
exactly. It's like you need to just think about something weird and then destroy something, and that's art. That was what you
did
had
they
to do.
they make you paint over the newspaper and stuff like that?
Yep. Yeah, I remember stuff like that. I remember the first year being like, "Oh, I'm just gonna cry because I don't like this," you know. But yeah, but then I had that professor that I mentioned before, and when I was because first I was like, okay, I'm going to do like the painting branch, that let's say, but then I discovered that if you chose the drawing one, then you would do like more life model and stuff like that, and that was really interesting. So I just chose that one, and it wasn't that bad. It was not that much of abstract all the time, so it was better.
But I really don't understand them. Why did they force the abstract? That's the first time I hear that I mean, what you're gonna live from abstract paintings? Like, I don't know. It's very strange.
I don't know. It's weird. I don't understand it.
Did the university change, or it's still like that there?
I have no idea because I mean I don't know if they have changed or not. I just know that now there's more schools on that are about digital art, but I don't know about the university.
Yeah, I see. I see. And so many vibrant colors on your paintings. I'm looking at the Resting Warrior from 2012. You,
Okay, don't go back to the old ones.
okay, come. But it's nice to see your style, the evolution, It's very
Okay,
nice to see the evolution. They're really good work, to be honest. They're
okay,
very,
thank you,
from
thank you. But it's
2012.
but it's yeah, it's just so old that I'm like ashamed of it. I'm like, oh no, no, that should not be in my portfolio anymore.
Do you put yourself a lot in these kind of paintings? I see there are a lot of girls, and some of them have ginger hair. Do you imagine yourself as a character when you are drawing them, or how does that go?
I mean, my hair is not natural, so it's like because I like red hair, and that's when I paint. I guess I do the same. Like if I like red hair, then I put it in my paintings, I guess. And also because I mean, red it's like a colorful color, right? So it's really saturated, and it's good to have nice colors in the painting. I guess like more interesting than just brown or black or stuff like that.
I see. Nice. Yeah. I'm looking. There is so much. For example, this robot impressionism. I love it. I love this painting.
Thank you.
Do you use Photobash in your paintings, or you do it from the scratch?
No, I don't use Photobash in those. I mean, I used to, like, years ago when I was doing those landscapes that I mentioned, like when I was trying to do matte painting. But no, when I'm painting, I try not to. I just have some references, like I have the other screen and I have like a lot of references there. Or I'm also learning 3D right now, so I'm also like, if I don't know how a pose is, then I'm just gonna use DAZ and then take it to ZBrush and do some stuff in it, or Marvelous Designer and all that stuff, and take it to Keyshot, and then I had the reference, but I wouldn't use it and then paint on top of the 3D. I'm just having it for reference also, and then I paint from scratch. So.
Do you plan moving to 3D? Have you tried 3D?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing that, like what I mentioned. I just take the DAS model and take it to ZBrush and do maybe some armor on top of it, or then Marvelous Designer, and then take it to Keyshot and use it as reference. But that's the only thing that I've done so far. And I'm so bad at ZBrush because it's so big, this program. It's like you're never gonna learn everything. But at least I know the basics now if I need to do something. So.
You never posted that you use ZBrush. That's why I asked, because now I have a different perception of your work, that you're using ZBrush and stuff like that. I mean, 3D helps a lot, right, in the paintings, the light, the value, the forms.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't want to be dependent on it, so that's why I only use it as reference and not as as base of my painting, just reference. And I have it there on the other screen, and that's it.
I wish I could say that for myself. It's. The style is very unique. I mean, I'm showing to people. I'm not gonna go to the oldest work, but I see that you have made a self-portrait in 2010.
Yeah, that's so old, also. But it was for school. That was for university, like my final project. Which, of course, they were like, "Oh, why are you doing digital instead of traditional?" But yeah, I just did it. I was like, I don't care. I want to try digital.
Of course.
That's gonna give me money and not just abstract stuff. So.
What happened? Do you know what happened with other students, because they only did traditional stuff? I suppose they only listened to professors and did traditional. What happened with them? Are they working or?
Some of them are more into design, and I think others are like doing photography and stuff like that, and animation also, I think. So yeah, I mean, people found a job, but it's not. Of course, it's not abstract art, It's just. But I think it's because maybe they learned also something after university, like they did some digital courses or something like that. They could, learn what we didn't learn in university.
Yeah, so it's better that they didn't go to university. They paid for courses.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, I like to talk always about universities because I have a feeling that in USA they are much better than in Europe. In Europe,
Yeah,
they are good universities, but everything is dead. For example, in Belgrade, we had some of the best universities until war. And then it doesn't matter that we had good universities until war, but what matters is, I know when I came to Applied Arts of Belgrade, and they had some great students, and before, not now. I mean, there is always a good student now, but I remember reading their program, and it was written that the last time they changed it was 73. And I'm like,
really?
1973, like, I mean, everything changed from there, Jesus Christ. So
that's crazy.
it's old, it's a good technique, but it's quite old. Also, when I learned industrial design, I remember a professor made me draw with a pen all the time, and which is good, but it's not too good to draw a car on A3 paper because it's much harder and it makes so much troubles and stuff like that. So that's about universities in Europe that for me is a big problem. They're quite expensive, and what you get for that money.
They're not expensive if you compare them to the United States.
Of course.
That's expensive.
$500,000 for the best one in the world is Pasadena University. Everybody says that, and that's still the place to go. But it's €500,000 or something like that. Or $500,000.
I know. I mean, I think it's what's the name? Center College or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that my boyfriend went to, and yeah, it's super expensive. It's crazy to think that they would pay that. Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah, and the people who finished that kind of university, they're always saying, "I'm in the debt for all my life. I need to pay the debts."
I know.
It's
I
crazy.
mean, yeah, but I mean that's how America is, honestly. It's like they pay a lot for everything. It's crazy. I mean, every time that I go there to LA, I'm like, oh my God, like, do you really pay that for just, I don't know, going to the doctor? Or it's crazy. So
I know what Serbians do. They book a ticket on airplane when they need to do a dentist, and they come to Serbia, come back, and it's 10 times cheaper.
I mean,
So,
I would do the same. Yeah, honestly, even with the plane. I mean, it's crazy. My boyfriend has done that a few times when he comes here to Spain, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the dentist," because it's way cheaper.
smart.
Even if
That's smart. Smart move. Smart move.
I mean, even if it's a private doctor here, but it's way cheaper than there. So
Yeah. That's a smart move because yeah, the world is very strange place, right?
I know.
For me.
Especially, especially because they're still struggling to get healthcare and all that, and it's crazy to think because I mean here in Europe is something that's so normal and everyone has.
Everyone has it, yeah.
Yeah.
And there, I mean, when you look at the movies, you're expecting that American life when you go there, and then you hear the stories, and you're like, this is nothing what I thought about, you know?
I know. I have that feeling because every time that I go there, everyone is like, "Oh, it's so cool! You're going to LA, right?" And it's like, "Oh yeah," and then they're like, "Oh, so you like it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I like the place and the people and all that, but if I think about moving there, it's like, really? I mean, everything's so cheap here compared to there. I have healthcare. University is almost free compared to that. Schools and all that, and yeah. So it's crazy because I mean it's awesome because you would have more art opportunities, right? But life is it's crazy.
But I think you will have to work all the time just to pay the bills.
Yeah, that's true. And also, I mean, just the rent of an apartment, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. My friends I have a lot of friends from LA which went from here to there, and they're always saying about the rent and stuff. And I'm like, when I hear the numbers, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, so,
Yeah.
so yeah. But that's one of the things. For example, when I studied in Italy, everybody was saying, study in Italy, work everywhere else. Because it was the way it was, they pay horrible in Italy, the salaries are horrible. For 2 years you can expect not to get a penny. And
Oh wow.
yeah, the Italy is very strange because there is such a high concentration of designers and artists in Milan, for example, and nobody wants to pay you because they know there is one of you, and there is on one of you 10,000 more, and
Yeah.
nobody wants to pay. So I have that kind of experience now with USA and stuff, like work anywhere except in USA, like, earn that money and enjoy life.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about America, I guess, is that you also get paid more, especially if you work for movies. So, I don't know. It's the good side, I guess.
Yeah, there is
But
always a good and bad side.
yeah.
Do you want to share your screen so we can show the process of your painting, or maybe
Sure.
some
Sure. How do I need to do that? Or you just do it?
are you on your computer?
Yeah.
You have the button. You have the button next to the red one. There is share screen, the two squares.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
share
I
it,
made
and
it.
then I will move.
Okay. Did it work?
Wait.
No. No.
Okay, perfect. We are watching your screen. Let me just enlarge. Give me a second. By the way, next time when I'm doing a stream, I will do it on on the Discord for sure, because oh, here it is. Perfect. We see you, Marta.
All right. Yeah, I have these layers of, I mean, not layers, it's like JPEGs of the process. Yeah, so that's the final painting. I'm just going to be showing a bit of my process and talking about it if you think that's, I don't know, interesting, I guess.
Okay. I'm sure that audience will love to see.
Okay, so did you send me something? What is that?
No, I printed the screen by accident. so yeah,
Okay, so
I apologize.
this is the first step that I have from this painting, where I was trying to think about the values. Especially, I mean, if you look at my old paintings, I have the feeling that, as I mentioned before, that there's a lot of colors, but I was forgetting about values. And yeah, now I'm trying to think more about it. And so I try to think in just black and white, or three, like black, gray, and white, and try to sketch a bit the scene. And even if, I mean, anatomy is wrong and all that, but at least I can see if the if it looks good in just black and white. So yeah, and then I started, just adding.
So you start. Can we go one step back, because it's I always like, for me, the thumbnails and initial sketches are always the nicest thing about anybody's art, and I love to see it. What I want to know is, you started with just black and white color.
I just, first of all, black and white, or maybe grayscale. Doesn't need to be only black and white, but yeah, I mean, I didn't do it before. I do it now, like since a few months ago.
Yeah, because it gives you the better understanding. Is it that case with you? Because it's simpler than giving more values?
Yeah, I mean, also to not get lost in colors later, because maybe later you just start putting color everywhere and you're like, okay, I don't know if it looks good or not. So yeah, and I did this and just
you start adding details, as I can see. You start. And what kind of brush strokes do you use? Because I see, if we go one step back, I see that your brush strokes start changing. How do you approach the brush strokes? Do you go in some similar direction and then move in other? How does that? What do you do? What do you think when you are doing it?
Okay, I'm gonna create a new painting, and then I can show you it, and it's easier.
Draw me as a goblin.
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah.
You're using Cintiq or normal vacuum tablet?
Normal one, small one, really old and basic. It's not even an Intuos, so.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God! You need the upgrade.
I know that. All right.
Oh, so many brushes. You have so many brushes there.
I know, I have so many, but I try not to. I don't use many. I mean, I just mainly use this one and another one, but.
And 100 more.
Not really. No, I mean, I have thousands of them, but I just use 2 or 3. I'm gonna show a bit. So I'm gonna do it in color, but I'm gonna show what I try to see. I like those kind of, brush strokes that have a lot of texture. I'm just using orange now because I don't know, just because usually that's how you start with a traditional painting, right? Like doing some sort of.
Okay.
So yeah, I like having some sort of.
You go with a highly saturated.
Yeah, because I usually try to do it super saturated at the beginning, because as you render it more, then you lose all that. Like a lot of all that color that you had at the beginning, so it's easier, to do it super saturated at the beginning, and then it's gonna get less saturated as you go. So, so let's say that's how I would start. Like I had the black and white from before, okay, but just imagine that I had to start in color directly, okay. So that's what I would do, and I tried to keep it pretty loose all the time, and also like pretty far away. I'm not doing it now because you can see some more, but I would keep it like super small, so that I don't get caught up with details. And basically that. And then I use this brush a lot, and I would just start. Let me see, like doing. I don't know if that's better to do some sort of demo than showing. So see, all the time I'm using like different colors. Even if, like, this is dark, okay? So I'm trying to use dark, but using a bit of red and a bit of blue and green, so that I can have some sort of.
And I see you do a really small brush strokes. They are really small. You don't you pull a little brush. You don't pull it in a wider direction. It's just small brush strokes, if I can see good.
I mean, it's not that. I don't know if you would say small or big. It's just maybe because if I do it larger, my computer would lag or something.
You need an upgrade. You need an upgrade fast.
It's not like it's a bad one, but yeah, sometimes. Okay, so I would basically do that maybe, and yeah, start putting some. I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do on the face or something. I'm going to do it. I know that it doesn't look like anything right now, but I will. It will.
It looks like you studied abstract painting.
Right, yeah, that's what university was for, to do this demo right now.
You see, they taught you something good.
Yep.
But
exactly.
so many colors, I'm already confused, to be honest. My eyes losing it.
Yeah, but it's basically just thinking, yeah, just adding a lot of colors. Like, okay, so this has to be light, right? So I'm just gonna keep adding. I mean, we can keep talking and I keep painting maybe.
Sure. That's perfect, I think. By the way, you have a question, and hi Nemanja and hey Pratik. The question is, speaking of opportunities, are you actively reaching out to clients, or you have reached out that magical place where offers just coming rolling?
Wait. Can you repeat it again? Because I don't think I understood the question.
Okay, the basic question is, are you now at that level where clients come by themselves, or you reach out to the clients so you get the work?
Oh, okay. No, I usually get emails from people, so I don't have to send emails or anything to companies or people. So yeah, it's been a few years like that I don't need to apply for jobs.
Told you guys, superstar.
I mean, I don't know I'm always thinking about doing it because I want to work for Magic, and I'm like, I should apply to Magic, but I'm always afraid of doing it, so.
Why? I think you would fit perfectly.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I'm always like telling myself, okay, I'm going to do it in a few months, but then I'm like, I need to prepare something realistic for my portfolio or stuff like that, So yeah, I will do it eventually.
So you also, as a high-end artist, have that kind of confusion in yourself. Should you do it or should you not do it? You're not doing it bold, like, here you are, my works.
Yeah, I mean, I guess people that are like that, those are the ones that get more jobs, I guess. Like, if they believe in themselves, they're like, yeah, I'm going to do it because I believe in myself, right? And then they get the jobs where I'm not that confident in myself, I guess. So it takes me a while to decide what I should do.
I think you should definitely apply to Magic. I think they would be very, very happy to have you.
Yeah, I don't know. I will do it. In
a couple of years, around 30 years.
Yeah, when I'm old, and I'm going to be like, damn it, I haven't done it.
Yeah, of course. When I'm thinking about that kind of stuff, when I was young, I remember I was very young. I was 7 years old, something like that, and I was on the seaside. And I was with older guys, and they were always competing about the girls. And I will always remember, I was 4 or 3, something like that. They were 20, 25. And I remember one guy said, okay, who's gonna approach these girls? And the other guy said, who is the faster one? He is the first one that gets. And I have been going with that logic since forever. That you have to approach everybody to get something. Because that guy, I don't know if he even remembers me. He is now 50 years old, but he gave me such a big lesson, when I was 3 or 4 years. So.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that. It's just sometimes you don't have the attitude, I guess, to do it. It's like, I mean, my boyfriend is always telling me like, come on, just prepare something and send it, I guess it's also because you're sometimes afraid of failure, and it's like, okay, what happens if they don't want me? It's like, damn it, it's all my dream that I've had all my life, and now they don't want me. It's like,
It's. I think that I failed many times in my life. I stopped counting after 500. So I think that the person needs to fail, so next year you can come even stronger from it.
Yeah, I remember you did a post or something saying like, oh, how your life had been. Like, I did this and then I failed and then,
Jesus Christ, when I read that post, I fell into depression every time. So it's better that I don't write that kind of posts anymore. Because it's I think that people, it's very, I'm glad that we touched this subject, and your boyfriend is absolutely right. You need to send stuff. Because I think that that's the only way to go. If you don't ask, you can't open the door. And the more you ask, the more opportunities can appear. I know from my experience, because here in Serbia nobody can see me literally, and if I don't send emails and stuff like that, nobody would know about me.
Yeah.
Of course, thanks God, I took the ArtStation and competition, and it opened many doors. But it's very important to send your portfolio, guys. If for all of you who are listening, it's very important to try and reach, because I see a lot of times. For example, Marta is a superstar. Look at her, how she works. She works amazing. But I see a lot of guys getting the projects just because they're knocking on the door, you know. And I think it's a very important thing to fail and not be afraid of failing, because it builds character also. Oh, who is that?
What, the painting that I'm doing?
Yes, it has very colorful beard, or it's a girl, I don't know what it is. But
I know, it's because I'm trying to put a hand in there, but
oh, it's a girl.
Yeah.
Girl with a beard, okay.
It's a creepy thing right now, but
But I like, we are already seeing the face and everything. It's amazing, like, I can already, from everything I can see it. Like, you're using now smaller brushstrokes?
yeah, I'm trying. I'm still trying to keep it pretty loose though, but yeah, I'm trying to add a bit of more detail, especially because I'm trying. I want people to see this video later and be like, oh, she did something. She just not just a crazy thing that she just painted. So I'm trying to add more detail.
Yeah. By the way, I have to ask you, what is the size of your monitor on which you work?
I think it's 27.
27. Okay. Because I was like, she's maybe working on 15 or 13 when she has all Wacom.
Oh no, it's an iMac, so it's a typical size, I think.
By the way, is she eating an apple?
It's an Apple, yeah.
She's eating an apple. No.
What?
Okay, I have wrong time to ask the question. Is she eating an apple on the... You need not to paint the apple. She's biting the apple.
Oh, okay. Shit, yeah. You just cut this part out later.
Don't worry, you're painting at the same time. You can't think properly, but my fault.
I'm just a dumb person now. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not that stupid.
I think all of us become dumb when we start painting, because your brain is so focused on doing it right.
Yeah, I mean, I told you before, I'm not that great talking.
You're doing great. Don't worry.
In public and all that. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting better, but all that. But yeah, I get nervous. And if I'm painting and I have to talk and I have to think, like that's too much.
Yeah. One brain shuts down. One piece of brain shuts down when you're painting.
Yeah. Also, my cat is doing weird stuff on the floor all the time, and I'm getting distracted.
It's a cat. It's a cat trying to go in the interdimensional portal with the devil or something like that, like any cat does.
I know. But yeah.
As I told you on the beginning, the cats they can absorb a lot of energy, especially the black cats, and people don't know that, and that's why the cat. There is a lot of stories when the cat sees someone crying, and the cat just approaches the person, and takes the energy, because it can do that. The dog can't do that, but the cat can.
Yeah. Yep. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if my cat does that or no, but yeah, maybe.
It's a unique cat.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's really nice. My mom is like in love with my cat.
Does she try to steal the cat all the time?
Yeah. Especially when I go to LA, she's like, "Oh yeah, now it's for me." You know, like gouging for me now. So,
Yeah.
She gets happy when I leave.
I don't know. Is it because of the cat or because you're leaving? But something is.
No, it's because of the cat. I can tell you. She's like, yeah, she's afraid of me leaving. So.
Yeah, of course, like any mother.
Especially because I don't have siblings, so.
You're the only child.
Yep.
Oh my God, so am I.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. It's a hard knock life. Guys, can you see? Sorry for interrupting. What did you want to say? What did you want to say? I'm sorry for it.
What did I want to say? But yeah, I think it has good things and bad things, I guess. Like when you're an only child, your parents are all the time asking you stuff and taking care of you, and that can be a bit annoying sometimes, I guess.
Calling you on the mobile phone.
Exactly, like before, like calling me all the time.
Yeah, they're just worried, you know. They're just for it.
Especially if you're a woman, that's even worse.
I don't know, to be honest. I know quite a lot of guys
I
that their
tell you.
mothers. I know a lot of guys that their mothers lead their life for them.
Really? Also with
Of
guys?
course,
Okay.
of course. With everybody, it's the same. We just hide it. We just pretend that we are cool. But mother is
Okay.
always a mother, you know. But by the way, I can't believe how fast you did this. Like it's 15 minutes or something, and we can already see everything. And what I want to ask you is these kind of brush strokes that you do. And do you think about them, or they're just so natural to you how you move the brush?
Um, I mean, I'm thinking what I'm trying to do, so I guess it's what is natural more is maybe the colors because I've been using, this kind of colors for years, so it's easier, I guess. But also because I usually like doing, the darkest darks with dark red usually, like with this kind of maroon or color or something like that. And yeah, and I don't know. I would. I'm just trying to keep like the darks less values, like more, and then but the lights like with more values also, and then the darks just fading into one, I guess.
I see,
Yeah.
I see. And there is so much now when you turned on. Can you one more time turn on the black and white?
Yeah.
You see, it's guys. Look how you can read all of this, and it's amazing that you can read it. But then she turns on. There is so much color popping at you. What is your favorite color, by the way? Probably red.
Is this one like turquoise? I use it a lot,
Turquoise.
and this pink also I like it a lot for paintings, I guess. The weird thing is that when I'm wearing clothes, they're basically black usually and white. So the colors that I don't use in my paintings are the ones that I wear. Okay.
Yeah. But why do you wear only the black and white? Is there special meaning in it, or you just like it the way it is?
I just like those colors, I guess.
Yeah. You know, when I was in not high school, the elementary school, and we had a guy that drew with very very saturated colors, and teacher took their paintings to a psychologist because we have here psychologists in the school and everywhere, and she took their paintings. She wanted to know what it means when you take very saturated colors.
Uh-huh.
And turns out that it means that they are still children inside and childish. And I was laughing so hard when I heard it. We were very young, but very saturated color mean that you have a personality you still perceive things as a child with your eyes, which is quite funny, you know.
Okay, is that a good or bad thing?
Everything for me, everything is good. There, for me, for example, there is no good or bad thing in the world. Everything is good, depends from the situation, you know. And
Okay.
a lot of people, when you're talking with them, they always ask you, "Is that good or bad?" For me, there is no bad person in the world. I mean, you will meet different kind of persons. Depends who you gotta like, but I think all is good.
Okay. I don't know if I would say that because I use color I'm childish or no. I have no idea.
No, I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I just remember them doing that, you know, and the teacher wanted to know. My paintings, when I did them, they were very monosaturated, but it's not because of my personality, it's because I don't understand color. So, yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's still trying, I guess. Like if you try to use more color and
I tried,
yeah,
believe me, never again. Never again.
really. I mean, also it's you should use color also, but also try to think a bit of why you're using them, because otherwise it's gonna happen what happened to me in the past, that it was all color and there were no values and everything was. I don't know if you've watched what's the name? Nathan Folk's Imagine. No, what's the word? Damn it, I don't know what. There's like a tutorial from Nathan Folks, and he explains that you should use colors, but like variation, but still some harmony. So I guess that's the thing that I have the feeling that I didn't do before. That I was just using a lot of colors, super saturated everywhere, instead of trying to keep some saturated colors in just one area, I guess. And
Yeah. It's a learning curve, right? I did that with design. I put too many elements when I was learning, and I would put oversaturate the surface with elements. But I think it's a process of learning.
yeah, it's. I mean, as long as you realize that you should keep learning all your life, I guess, then it's good.
Yeah, it's a little bit depressing, but it's the way it is.
I mean, I don't think it's depressing. It's nice that
No?
no, that you always need to learn something. Yeah, that's awesome. Like it's every day you can learn something new, right? I mean, I was a bit, for example, you're more into 3D, right? And I'm the opposite. But I was like kind of afraid of learning 3D, and then I was like, okay, no, I need it. I need to learn 3D to incorporate it into my paintings too, like the process and everything. So sometimes you just need to open your mind and be like, okay, open-minded and try it.
Yeah.
So
I completely agree. By the way, guys, if you have some questions, feel free to ask them. We had one. You can ask more. I think that Marta is showing us a lot of crazy stuff here that you would like. And maybe you can ask her something about the style that she's doing now before she finishes the painting, because she's super fast and already doing it.
come on, no, there's so much to do yet.
But I can see the face of a girl, and she has a little bit longer fingers, or shorter, I'm not sure.
Yeah, they're short. That's why I was trying to put the hand down, but whatever, I will do it. It's all the pressure of painting and doing it here.
Yeah, but it's looking really good, so relax, it's looking really, really, really good. People will love it when they see the YouTube video. And
Okay.
how did you learn to use Photoshop? Were you self-taught, or you went to some course, or online?
Yeah, I just learned it by myself at home. I mean, there were some tutorials online, right? And so, as I mentioned before, that I was,
Gnomon?
yeah, exactly. And yeah, but I mean, that was more matte painting, yeah. But yeah.
Who did the painting tutorials back then? I don't remember. Were there any on Gnomon?
The ones that I looked at were more, as I said, like matte painting, not painting. So, but at least I learned how to use the program, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, painting is just painting. It's the same traditional media than digital, right? So.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
If I sometimes I stop talking, it's because I'm thinking about the painting and I'm like, damn it, I don't know what I'm saying.
No worries, no worries. You can pretend that you're a cat when something goes bad.
Yep. That's
my cat is making noise, guys. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
he came to my lab a few minutes before, so he also distracted me.
Did you? But do you have any painting of your cat?
No, I have photos, but not paintings. I have never painted him.
Maybe you should. Maybe this is the moment he should get his glory. You know how Dan Lovisi uses his cat as a character in his book. I love that moment.
Yeah, I know. I have the book, so yeah.
Yeah, you have Last Man Standing.
What? What's that?
You said you have the book, if I heard you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You have the Last Man Standing.
Mm-hmm.
The first edition, or it's the new one?
I think it's the old one.
Oh my god, yeah, it's epic. I love it. Like he put so much effort in that piece.
Yeah. I mean, it was a huge thing, right? That book back then. So.
Yeah, it was one of a kind, to be honest, when it came out. It had 200 something pages, the first edition, and it was the big one.
Yeah, it's super thick.
Where did you buy it?
I had a friend that went to San Diego Comic Con, I think, and he brought it back to me like years ago.
Did he pay for the extra baggage so he can bring it because it's that big?
I'm not sure. I mean, it was like someone that worked with me for my publisher, so.
Nice. By the way, you're not flipping the image that much when you're doing, because I flip all the time image to look at the design and everything. You have a great eye, I can say, because you're not flipping from one side to other.
Yeah, I don't usually do it, and maybe I should do it more sometimes.
But
But
yeah, you have them crazy good eye because that's really, really hard to do when you are only on one side. I flip the image all the time.
yeah, I don't know. As I said, I think it's something that I should do more. So I don't know if it's a good thing that I don't do it.
We can
Yeah.
already see. For me, this is Morticia Adams, dark like this,
Maybe, yeah, could be.
with a little bit pink and turquoise.
With more tissue with pink and turquoise all the time. Yeah, those are the colors that I always use. Also, this blue, I always use this blue in my paintings.
The strong blue, navy blue. No, that's not the navy blue. What is the name of that blue?
I don't remember, honestly.
Let's just call it blue. Let's just call it blue.
Yep.
I tried to pretend I'm smart, but obviously something went wrong. You use only brush, or you use any other tool in Photoshop, because I see you mainly using the brush.
I usually use just the brush. I mean, unless I see that the proportions are wrong, like I did before, and I just use the lasso to move something.
And the erase tool?
I usually don't erase. I just paint over it.
Jeez, you're a beast. You're a beast.
No, I mean, I think it's just because I come from a traditional background, so I have that, that you don't have a Control Z when you're working with traditional, right? So it's the same. I just paint over it. I guess.
Yeah. You still paint in traditional.
Yeah, I do it, but I wish I did it more though, because I usually do just small sketches, but not big pieces unless it's a commission or something, like larger ones.
Mm-hmm. And your clients are all over the world.
Yeah, they're mainly from the US though.
Yeah, the US is such a good market. You can literally sell anything on that market, and I love it for that. Also, Asia is getting, since they got a lot of more money, they are also buying a lot of stuff.
Yeah, my clients are mainly just US. I think I had sometimes from Europe when they want some traditional stuff sometimes, but that's it.
How about Spain? How is the situation in Spain?
I don't think people want art, they don't value it, so I don't have many commissions from Spain.
I always thought that it's a different in Spain, and I always thought that you people valued a lot art.
Not really. Especially because when you work for the US, people you just say, okay, I want to be paid whatever, so like the amount that your rate, and they're like, oh yeah, cool. But then in Spain, you just say that, and they're like, they never reply to your emails,
Isn't it for free? Aren't you working for free?
Exactly. That's what they think. Yeah.
Yeah, I always have that kind of hate mails from time to time where somebody asks me for a price and then they write me that I shouldn't be charging that much, and I'm like, why are you even asking if you don't want to know?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's that thing. Like I would say, like if someone comes to your house and they have to fix something, and they're like, okay, just pay me that amount. They're like, oh yeah, cool. But then for art, it's like, oh, that you get paid for that, really? So.
Okay, you can fix my vending machine for exposure.
Exactly, yeah, exposure. That's the thing that everyone offers.
I mean, I have so many emails in my inbox and I share them from time to time on my Facebook so people can laugh because I'm laughing at them and I can't believe what people write to me. But really, people have some crazy ideas when it comes to the business and exposure. It's very, very, very strange market.
Yeah. Now, I'm thinking now when you ask me, like, if I use what I use, I also use sometimes what's the name of this? The mixer brush.
The mixer brush.
Yeah, I didn't used to use it before because I didn't even know that it existed, But then someone told me, oh yeah, the mixer brush, and I was like, oh, that's something new and it's awesome. So now I use it sometimes when I want to maybe mix something and make it look like it's a brush stroke. It
gives a better translation, right, of the color and value and everything.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you have something that it's, I don't know, like a lot of colors like this, and then you mix it, and it looks really cool because it looks like paint. So yeah, I don't know. Just that. This girl has only 3 fingers, or I don't know how many.
And she has a ear that has a big hole.
It's because it's gone.
No, no. I was
It's just
joking.
something there. I don't know. I just didn't think of the proportions. I just made it.
Don't worry, we can read all good. I'm just joking. It's fascinating to see people are watching it real time, and it looks like a sped up painting process. Like you're really really fast.
No, really, I'm really, really slow usually. But I think it's because I usually think a lot of what I'm doing. Like I would just paint something and be like, I don't know, I don't know, and then I just keep painting over it and doodling and what's the word that um something. My boyfriend always used a word like something chicken. I don't know the word, like something that means like you're like all doing this all the time. I don't know which word it is.
Chicken.
Yeah, I'm.
Wait, I'm trying to McDonald's? No, okay.
It has chicken in it, the word, really, but I don't remember now which word it is.
Chicken KFC? I don't know. I really don't know.
Something chicken, like when you're, when you keep painting on top of it and just doing small brush strokes and instead of doing bold choices, I guess.
Okay, chicken out. Okay.
I don't know. That's the word.
It's a disapproving because you're too frightened. I was going to bungee jumping, but I chickened out. Is it that one?
I don't think that's the word.
Okay, we have a dilemma here. We don't know what kind of chicken it is, but it is some kind of chicken.
I know. I later when I talk to him, we should ask him, and then you just add it to the information of the video.
Let's do it. I will add it for sure.
Information of the video, like this is the chicken word.
The Marta's chicken word.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I usually use different brushes, but right now I'm just using this one. But I also use this one that also has a really nice texture.
Mm-hmm. So I see most of your brushes they are textured and they give really really high quality textures when you pull them over.
Yeah, I don't usually use brushes that don't have texture. They always look like this kind of chalky look. I don't know. But yeah, unless if I need to add more detail, which I'm still not in that stage, I guess, because it's still pretty rough. But yeah, then if I have to get closer, maybe I would use something that is softer. But
Did you do live drawing of the people?
yeah, in you mean in university or something?
Yes.
Yeah, I did a lot of that.
And what was your experience with that? Is it beneficial for artists?
I think it was really awesome, especially when we did those sessions of just 10 minutes or 5 minutes or something like that, because it was it forces you to think like faster and be like, okay, I need to capture the whole mood of this scene, and instead of going to detail.
Mm-hmm. So do you think they are beneficial in a way that they make you draw fast like you do? They open you up. Free yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Free yourself.
Free yourself.
Yeah, it helps you to try stuff sometime when you're afraid of trying stuff, maybe, like because the thing is that sometimes it still happens to me that my paintings are too precious to me somehow, so I'm afraid to keep trying something, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna do it because maybe it's gonna look worse or whatever, and when you do live model stuff, it's just something that you're not gonna show, or you're just trying to do something and learning, right? So that's what I like about it.
I see. You also make a lot of contrast when you are working on your painting, from light to dark.
I mean, it depends on the painting. This one is just because I went with a pretty, like, I don't know, like the light was strong from the top and from here, right? So that's why. It depends on the painting. I sometimes like also like high key artwork where everything is pretty light. So
Yeah, I understand. Nice.
I don't know if there's anything else you want to ask.
Of course, of course. I'm just looking at the way you paint, and I'm fascinated by it because it's so much different from my workflow. So cool.
Thank you.
It is very, very cool, and I'm enjoying really this because you're very talkative and you're doing amazing art. So we'll have to have you one more time as a guest here.
Just to do the same and talk about the same again.
Of course, people like it. I'm sure people will love this when we post it on YouTube and watch it.
I'm just thinking about myself like years ago when it was impossible for me to talk like this when I was in an interview or something. I'm proud of myself. I got better at this.
I think many guests would like to hear how did you overcome that? Did you work on it, or it just happened spontaneously, or was there any critical moment that it happened?
I think it's all about practicing. Like if the more you do it, the better you get at it, I guess.
You went that way. You waited for you to get better, or or
Yeah, I mean, I remember in school it was impossible for me to talk. I would just be sweating and my voice would be just, I would just run out of voice. I'd be like, oh, I don't know, I would be super nervous. And yeah, I mean,
sweaty hands.
and yeah, you say that at IFCC, I was not nervous. I was super nervous there. And it was just, I don't know, 2 years ago or something like that. So
Yeah, it was 2 years ago, 2017.
so yeah, it's basically just the more you do it, yeah, the better.
The less you sweat, guys. The more you do it, the less you sweat.
Yep, that's the thing.
A lot of people would like to talk publicly, but they are afraid of it. For example, I'm never afraid talking of public. I don't know where it comes from me, because my parents are not like that. But when I get on the stage, I get so energized and I want to talk. And I'm quite always surprised when I hear that people are nervous.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, it's also, I guess, your personality. If you're more talkative and
I'm extrovert. I'm extrovert. One of the rare extrovert artists, guys.
and if you're confident in yourself also, I guess, I don't know.
Confidence is a very, very, very strange subject to talk about, and I don't know how, because people think that the confident people they have their confidence 24/7, and it's not like that. There are ups and there are downs.
Yeah, I imagine.
I imagine.
So do you have downs? Are you sometimes just like, oh, I don't know, or what?
Depends. For the job, no. Honestly, when we are speaking, no, never. Even when I was speaking with high-end clients, I never had that, because I know if that opportunity doesn't go good, the next one will. But in real life, yeah, I can have ups and downs for sure.
Yeah. And how do you overcome those? Like, we can talk about art crisis or stuff like that. Like, if you ever had one.
Oh, I had many art crises. Many times I wanted to quit. I never told that to people. I mean, I had a lot of challenges when the post that you said about that you read, and I had many challenges to overcome, and it was quite hard to keep on going because everyone really can be happy when everything is going good, but when it's going hard, you get depressed. But I knew that if I want to make something big, I need to go through the storm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the person needs to be a fighter, and that's how I looked at it. I knew that if I give a good fight, eventually I will get out as a winner.
Yeah, that's a good thing to stick to, I guess. Like, yeah.
I had many burnouts, that's for sure, but how much I work, that doesn't surprise me. And I don't know how about you, but I work like a maniac. Everybody knows that about me. I'm posting all the time, and the last 3 years have been insane. But for example, I never had a blockage where I don't know what I'm gonna draw. I had a blockage that I didn't know if I will have enough energy to maintain the high work. So yeah, that's how it goes with me. I'm super creative, super creative. Whatever you give me, I will turn it into something. I don't know how it goes about you.
I would say I get discouraged pretty easily, and So if I'm trying something and then I'm like, oh, I don't know, it's not working, then I get super emotional about it, and I would just cry and be like, damn it, this is not working and all that. Also because I'm a woman, and women are more like that they.
Women cry? No, no, no. It's 2019. Women don't cry in 2009.
But
Also,
yeah,
also, men never cry. We only sometimes something gets in our eyes. For example, I never cry, but there is something in the air from time to time. So yeah.
yep.
So you get very emotional about everything, and you wanna quit. But how do you overcome it? And do you talk with your peers? Do you talk with your friends, with your boyfriend, or how does that go? With your cat? Come here,
I mean,
cat. I have negative
yeah, I
energy.
talk to my boyfriend and he has to put up with me when I get super discouraged. But yeah, and I just I had this kind of art crisis like when I became freelance, because I wasn't I was looking at my work and I was like, nah, this is not what people want, or I'm not gonna make it or something. And I
Yeah.
had this moment. And okay, give me 1 second because my cat wants some cuddles. Okay.
You see, the cat is always approaching when there is energy. I told
He's
you.
like, he's gonna be okay. Like now that I'm talking about my art crisis, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be okay. Now give me some food.
But yeah, and so what I did is like I had those moments or where I was like I would look at my painting and be like, no, this is not working, and it was hard, and what I did is I had to go back to learning the basics, and trying to get better and realize that maybe what I thought I knew I didn't know that well, and that's basically what made me overcome it.
Yeah, how did that went away? When you started realizing that the work is working, that's when you started to relax. Because I had the similar experience, and I think everybody who goes freelance, there is always that question. There is like a question on your shoulder, like a monkey literally on your shoulder that's telling you won't succeed. I have that kind of experience I had, and I know many people had. And for example, it was the same with me. I was afraid that it won't work, but to be honest, I didn't have any other option, so I had to make it work. And it's scary when you go into something new.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that much of thinking it's not going to work as a freelancer. It's like, because I mean, clients were happy with what I was doing, but I was not happy with what I was doing.
Ah,
So I don't know. It's like I was looking at my work and I was like, no, this is not good. Even if the client might be like, oh no, yes, it's awesome. I don't have any changes or whatever. But you're like, no, I want to change this. I want to learn. And that's when I started, learning 3D and also going back to learning, values and all that stuff that I was never told in university and all that.
so you are a perfectionist.
Yeah, I guess I am. Yeah.
Are you super strict to yourself? You're like, Marta, today you're only gonna draw, you're not gonna do anything. Are you like that?
I try to stick to a schedule, but I usually fail, because I'm like, okay, no, today I'm gonna work from this time to this time, and then afterwards I'm just gonna play video games, And I've been saying that for weeks, and I haven't done it yet, So,
Okay.
and I think, yeah, at some point it's like you need to make a schedule of what you are gonna do, and include also those moments where you don't work in the schedule. So you also stick to that part of not working.
And tell me, how do you balance yourself? How do you relax? That's my question now, because everything's leading to that question. How do you relax from the art?
Um, Usually it's watching some series, some shows or movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Do you go out, or you're introvert sitting at home 24/7?
I stay a lot of at home. Yeah, I'm too bad at. Yeah, I don't know. I should go out more, but I love being at home and with my cat, And
We throw a party, we drink some alcohol,
yeah,
we meow, we tell the
exactly.
problems.
No. I mean it's. But yeah, I try to balance my life, but yeah, I fail sometimes. But I mean, yeah, I'm fine with it. It's not like I need to go out all the time. So
Yeah. It's strange. By the way, I have to tell you, we have 15 more minutes. I prolonged it because I'm loving so much what you're doing on the screen. And
Cool.
so 15 more minutes we can do it if that's okay with you.
Sure.
And what I wanted to say, that's the thing about artists that I can't get used to. I'm a very extrovert person and I like to party. Actually, I don't have much time now to party, but I loved to party. I like to go out. I like to talk with people. And every time when I'm talking with artists like, nah, I'm not going out, man. Never, never. Like I'm relaxing at home. And for me, that's
Yeah.
super different from what I am. And but the more I got into the industry, the more I realized it's normal.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're weirdos. Yeah, I mean, we already stated that. And so I guess that,
Were you always like that, or it changed during the years? Because for me, for example, I partied a lot when I was younger. I went out a lot, but now I don't have that much time.
I think I've always been like that. I had a moment maybe 3 years ago that I was partying every week and a lot, but just that moment, I think. And then as the same that it's like I never partied a lot when I was younger, you know? So I guess I needed that moment, but it was just for a few months and that's it. And that
Yeah.
was it. So,
Yeah, it's quite fascinating to me. Like I need to ask more artists about that, because here, for example, in Serbia, come on guys, I'm always trying to gather the artists, concept artists, and I'm like, guys, I'm organizing this, I'm organizing that, and they're all like hiding from the sun, literally, and I'm like, well, come on, let's gather, let's go for a lunch. Let's do something. Let's hang out. So
when
it's
you message them, they're like, oh no, shit, it's him again.
I'm like a abusive girlfriend that sends them the messages that they need to meet me, that nobody likes me. That's the way it is. Like, we need to
Okay.
meet. We need to meet. Go away, Darko. Go away. So,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think because it depends on where you live. Because when I used to live in a village, when I was working for my publisher, I was going out way more than now.
in the
Because it was,
village and not in the city. Oh my god.
yeah, in the village. Because it was easier. It was easier. I mean, you could just walk everywhere, right? You don't need to take the subway or to take the bus to go somewhere. You can just, yeah, walk. And I like that. I don't like getting into the subway. So, and yeah, now that I'm here, yeah, I don't do it that much because I get more tired. I'm like, no, I don't want to, have to take the bus or take the subway for 30 minutes and go somewhere.
I could have been painting for 30 minutes. I don't want to be in that bus.
What do you say? What's that?
I said you want to paint for 30 minutes, don't want to go with the bus. Waste the time with the
No,
bus.
no. I mean, it's just that if I can just arrive and get to where the people are in just 10 minutes, it's better than just spending 45 minutes in the subway.
Maybe you can draw really fast drawings of people who are in the club.
No, but now that you mentioned that, I mean,
I will never give you ideas anymore. I will not give you ideas.
no, but I mean, I love doing that, like meeting with people just to draw. I remember we did that once in LA with Jana Schirmer, and it was awesome just being there, and she was drawing me, and it was really cool. So I love that.
Do you have that in Spain? Do people organize drink and draw there or draw sessions or something?
Yes, we have it. But yeah, I mean, it's sometimes hard for people to get out, as like we were saying, like artists don't want to get out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do it sometimes. So it's cool. We have a bunch of artists here. So.
We also have a drink and draw here, and we gather every month or something like that, or two, depends from the mood of the artists. And I think it's a great stuff because we are in our circle and we start talking about design and art.
Yeah, that's awesome. This helps you, I don't know, see it from the perspective of others too, that work in the same field.
Yeah. Oh my God, you have almost finished painting there. I mean, that is not a...
Finished? Oh my God.
I knew what you're gonna say, but it's all we can already see on the screen. I can see the eye, the nose, the very small ear.
Exactly. The small ear. It's supposed to arrive here. She has hair over it. That's why. That's why you don't see it.
Can she have an elf ear?
I mean, yeah, I guess she can. Like, just coming here, I guess.
Ooh, nice.
now it's gonna have like 1,000 more likes on somewhere just because it's an elf, right?
Of course, if you paint also the boobs, it's gonna have even more likes, as we have with the art station thing. Like boobs, girls, that gives the most likes.
Yeah, exactly. Just
If it is also a character from the existing IP, that's even better.
yeah, and it has dragons or cute cats also.
Yeah.
That's something we
The,
need.
Marta, I think the cats sell anything.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, we can start to wrap this. And I'm really
Mhm.
happy that you joined, and I'm so grateful that you showed us all of this, and then we talked on so many amazing subjects.
Yeah, I feel the same. It was awesome.
Thank you so much for coming, and I really, really enjoyed this time because you're the first painter that they invited, and totally different from anything that we saw so far. And I'm sure that people will watch this again, and enjoy it because you talked on a lot of subjects, and we touched many subjects, and it was very nice.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming, and I hope that I will invite you again, that you will participate, and we do some kind of session of drawing again.
Sure.
And
Okay.
maybe we can draw some kind of animals. I don't know, but on the next stream I will invite you for sure.
Animals. We're gonna draw cats.
We have a deal. We have a deal. I'm afraid of the cats from time to time. Sometimes I'm afraid, sometimes I'm not. But I hope that it will be a day when I will not be afraid of the cats.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much for coming, guys. Thank you for joining us and for watching. I'm sure that you're mesmerized by Marta's work. And hit the subscribe button if you can. And I hope that you will enjoy this stream and watch it over and over again because it really deserves that. So goodbye, guys.
Bye.